This is your First Alert Weather Breakdown, a deep dive into how weather works with meteorologist Evan Thomason.
Hello and Merry Christmas Eve to you. I'm First Alert Meteorologist Evan Thomason. Thank you very much for joining the stream, especially on this holiday. It's Christmas Eve. Lots of joy all around. Maybe not entirely with our weather forecast. It hasn't been perfect by any means this morning. It's not even just a discussion or a controversy over the whether or not you like the temperatures. It's been cloudy throughout the morning. We've even had some foggy issues in some areas of the eastern edge of the ArkLaTex, and some of that has stretched up to areas of southwestern Arkansas and also throughout most of our central northern Louisiana parishes as well, out towards Minden, a little bit into Natchitoches as well here at this hour. But hey, we're making the most of it, and rest assured, again, despite the controversy of whether or not you like the warm temperatures around, which we'll get into, we can all, I think, agree, especially if it's going to be warm, let's at least keep it dry, which we are doing this year, all right? No rain issues until we get into the weekend. We have all that and more in a packed First Alert Weather Breakdown. We're bringing in the holidays. We're packing in lots of things here for the day today, so let's get into it. Here for the day today, first of all, again, we want to tell you Merry Christmas Eve. We got a full rundown of your forecast coming on up. We're also going to be tracking Santa a little on the side here as well through this podcast. Just so you know as well, we will have a full stream. If you're watching this on KSLA.com, on our live stream a little bit later on today, we will be running the Santa tracker for pretty much several hours if you want to track him out. Currently, I'll give you the current location of him now. Let's go ahead and put that up here. I'm a one-man band back here. There he is. He is currently in Russia. There he is. He's on his way through Eastern Asia. If I zoom out on the that's actually zooming in. If I zoom out on the map here, you will see he is headed through Kazakhstan. Also, this is a great test of geography. I will say that as well. But zoom further out, he's essentially going through Asia currently. He's going to be slowly but surely making his way westward through Europe and eventually coming back into the ArkLaTex. So I forgot to mention the last part about this full rundown. We are interviewing Joel Young, who's standing on by on the side, the Fox 16 meteorologist. He's also a part of KARK as well. But anyways, he's a Fox 16 meteorologist with Little Rock, Arkansas. We're going to talk about some recent weather trends across Arkansas and the ArkLaTex and see what's to come out of winter as well. So again, a lot to get to. We also got to get all this done by 11 a.m. We have a stream coming up at 11 a.m. For those of you looking to hang on tight. Again, we got a not only packed podcast today, we got a packed live stream. ArkLaTex Artistry will be on after this at 11 a.m. After that, then we will stream the full Santa tracker here for you. Pretty cool. Kennedy Wells will set that up here, our new streaming anchor as well. Lots to get to. Let's get into it. Starting with the forecast here for today, which maybe I'm getting a little too excited about just because I'm in a hype mood because it's Christmas Eve. But anyways, it is cloudy and gloomy for you out the door, especially across areas of Shreveport and Bossier there on your live stream. Let me set up here. There we go. Include myself in the picture for you there. It is a cloudy day, but again, a dry day here around the ArkLaTex. Good amount of moisture surging in to give us this cloud cover and also give us incredible warmth here for the day today. But not giving us any measurable rainfall, certainly. Not really making those roadways wet, per se, around the region here for you as well. That's a look into Shreveport and Bossier. Up north into Texarkana, it's kind of a similar outlook there for you. Again, I want to mention a Merry Christmas Eve again to you, Christian, especially you on the stream. Hey, man, great to see you on. Thanks for always chatting on our YouTube chat as well. If you're just coming on in. Again, Merry Christmas Eve. We're going to the full forecast of Santa. As discussed on the NORAD tracker, this is a clip from earlier. He went through Australia a little while ago, and he will be continuing on his merry way westward into the ArkLaTex here, slowly but surely, in several hours. But, hey, he's got to get through all the rest of the countries first, and in a way, he saves the best for last when it comes to us in the United States. Anyways, we're hanging around with warm temperatures. Santa won't have to go down to South America to experience summer this year. Instead, he just gets to go through the southern half of the United States and be content with high temperatures getting still up into the 70s, maybe even touching 80 degrees here for the day today. I mean, not only that, this is pretty much the temperatures that you're finding throughout most areas around here. I'm going to speak again with Joel Young, certainly about those kind of temperatures even showing up in his jurisdiction, even as far the north as I think northern Arkansas is even getting temperatures around the 70s tomorrow, which is kind of wild for Christmas Day, even for a non-white Christmas, which happens most Christmases. On top of that, though, partly cloudy skies, dry conditions. You don't have to worry much about the rain, at least here for the moment. There's still a lot going on in our forecast ahead. Starting out with temperatures, 70 in Shreveport, 60s everywhere else. I will say this is a touch cooler from that of yesterday. Here to start off our day, 67 in Texarkana, 64 in Natchitoches, 62 up into the Queen. Overall, here's our main story. We continue to pile in warm temperatures, warm day after warm day. I mean, it just seems like this is a whole stretch of days. It's impressive enough that we're getting near record high temperatures, and for our highs, not just one day, but multiple days. I mean, this spans back all the way back to Monday of this week, and this is going to continue on each day through Saturday. So guess what? Still next 4 days, incredibly warm around here before piling in cold air. This is what we really want to keep you first alert about. Cold front sweeping on by. Starting on Sunday, that's going to be giving us much colder, more of a seasonal feel finally for the last few days of 2025 heading into early next week. But again, that's not until early next week. So for the time being, you're sitting tight with highs in the mid to upper 70s. And this pretty much includes everybody around the ArkLaTex here for you. 78 is the projected high in Shreveport, but I would not be surprised to see even some areas maybe reaching 80 like we did yesterday and like we could be doing each day through Christmas Day. Yes, even through Friday as well. The record there for Shreveport there for you around 83 to 84 degrees over the next few days. But just so you know, again, the forecasted high is around the lower 80s. Yesterday's high exceeded the actual high yesterday, exceeded what we expected for it. Part of that was because the sun came out a little bit earlier than it was projected to. But the point is, again, we could break several record highs, including the Christmas Day. We could be the warmest Christmas of all time in Shreveport. It could happen this year. So for those of you who have been dreaming of warm temperatures, this is kind of a Christmas to remember for you, to be quite frank with you. All right, so beyond that, let's look at the cool down that's going to happen after that, because highs are in the 70s and 80s pretty much today, Christmas Day, also Friday, Saturday. Again, this is not just a Christmas stick where it's going to stick through Christmas and then go away. We still have this extended all the way into the 27th through Saturday until finally cold front comes in on Sunday, and that's going to cool off our highs looking like in the 40s and 50s at this point in time here for early next week, specifically for Monday. I might warm up a little more into the second half of next week, though, for you. All right, future track. Now, this, as much as our temperatures are on loop over the next couple of days, our skies are kind of doing the same thing. We're getting a lot more sunshine working back here into the afternoon hours, but then same thing of what happened this morning. We're picking up again on a good amount of cloud cover coming out of the south. Some of that could even attribute to some morning fog there for you to start to your Christmas Day too, and keep us immensely warm into the overnight hours, and that's still going to part ways to lead us to some sunshine again, finding its way out for Christmas at day afternoon. Then Friday, same thing. More cloud cover in the morning hours, followed by more sunshine for the afternoon. But if you looked and paid attention to that future track thoroughly, I mean, you won't find much in terms of green shades. No major chance of rain is what I'm trying to get at still for the next couple of days. That is until you get into this next system. This is going to be coming in on Sunday. This is going to be arriving here late this coming weekend here for you, mainly on Sunday at this point in time, which is what the future tracks are trying to track on. Maybe even Sunday night as well. We'll take a look at the long-range future track here in just a moment, but here are the key details surrounding this cold front. I'm not expecting much in terms of rainfall. In fact, the models have been trying to get even more lenient with this system coming on through, kind of acting like it's weak in moisture, so to speak, only giving us a little bit of rain, which is more than the zero amount of rainfall that we are expecting through this week. But, again, nothing in terms of severe weather, certainly, what the system is expected for you ahead. Now, temperature-wise, though, this will be giving us much colder conditions rolling on into next week. I think that's going to be the big change and the big juggler thing. And we just discussed that a little bit earlier when highs go down to around the lower 80s on, say, Saturday, and then go down to the 40s and 50s here for Monday. That's about a 30-degree temperature swing. in just a matter of 2 days. That's how we do it very quickly here in the ArkLaTex. Here's that long-range future track here for you. Again, you'll see surges of cloud cover here over the next several days, but then eventually, on your Sunday, it will slowly appear here, and it doesn't really appear until Sunday again, afternoon. So it looks like most of your first half of your Sunday is looking fine, but if you have any evening or late afternoon plans, you might want to watch out for them, because that's when we just have this thin line of rain coming on by through the ArkLaTex here, hopefully settling out of here by Monday morning. But we will see in time. As of right now, again, it's looking like Sunday night, a late night at that, into the ArkLaTex for that round of rain to come on by. So to go into your lifestyle forecast here for you really quick. Again, today, summarizing everything up together, 78 for a high is projected, but don't be surprised if anything reaches 80. Maybe even for later on this afternoon, too. Partly cloudy skies are expected as well. And then a kind of a carbon copy again here for your Christmas Day forecast, too. If anything, maybe high temperatures rise another degree or two, but still expecting dry, partly cloudy conditions, especially for the afternoon hours. You might find a lot more cloud cover around in the morning hours, similar to what's happened this morning as well here for you. Then heading on into your weekend, that's when things change, and that doesn't really happen until the tail end of the weekend. So if you have any plans Saturday and the first half of Sunday, it's looking fine. Again, we're watching out for that round of storms as of right now to come through on Sunday night. And you can see the temperatures start to drop then, and they're really going to drop next week. And the best way to show you that is our bowl game coming into town. Yes, we do have the Radiance Technologies Independence Bowl coming to Shreveport in the Independence Stadium between the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers and the Louisiana Tech Bulldogs. That'll be a good matchup here for it. Again, that'll be on next Tuesday at 1 p.m., and Tuesday's forecast, as of right now, shows you highs dropping. First of all, I really think it's going to be a sweater game where most of you are going to have to bundle up at least a little bit here for the game time itself. Morning lows will probably be in the 30s that morning. Keep in mind, game time will be right in the thick of the afternoon, right around 1 p.m., and those high temperatures are running around the lower 50s here at this point in time. But I will say it does look dry, so won't have to worry about any rainfall for the game. That will be good for both tailgating and the game itself. Full 7-day forecast here for you now. Again, we are incredibly warm here for the next 4 to 5 days. Also with morning lows only getting down into the 60s. Then there comes that change early next week. Highs down to the 40s, lower 50s. And as you see on Tuesday morning, some of our mornings could get down to around either at or just below that freezing mark too. So that'll be something to track here for early next week. Hopefully I'll get more thorough answers as to how much the temperatures are going to fall into early next week. As well, and see how quickly they rebound into New Year's, which is the following Thursday after. It's a week and a day away. We just got a week left, pretty much left of 2025. So the last few days of 2025 looking cold, but we'll see how 2026 favors. As of right now, it's looking dry and looking like highs in the 60s again for your New Year's Day. But again, that's a week and a day out. We'll keep you first alert about that closer to the time frame. But as for Christmas, again, incredibly warm. Incredibly dry. We'll talk more on this with our fellow meteorologist, Joel Young, after a quick commercial break. We'll be right back after 2 minutes. Let our sponsors run. See you after this. Hello, welcome on back to the First Alert Weather Breakdown. Again, thanks for joining us here for the day today. I'm meteorologist Evan Thompson. I'm going to give a quick shout out really quickly out to our YouTube peeps. I see y'all online. Hello, Deborah. Thank you very much for watching on your Christmas Eve. And Christian, do I see any severe storms on Sunday? No, not really at this point in time, which is good news. Good news for that. Again, we always respond to those comments. Always. Feel free to join us on our YouTube chat. But I always want to tell everybody, especially those of you at home, Merry Christmas. And I want to say Merry Christmas also to the guest that I'm joining in on our podcast here for first time in a while, Joel Young. Welcome back in. How are you doing?
Merry Christmas. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Just kind of trying to get some last minute Christmas stuff done and go to work here this afternoon and just the holidays, staying busy.
I hope you're done Christmas shopping.
Mostly, yes. There's always somebody else that gets added to the list at the last minute. You're like,
Oh,
I gotta
true.
get this for some, so that's kind of where I stand right now. I'm like, oh, I need to grab that, so
But yeah,
anyway,
I love your background.
thank you.
Love a Christmas tree in the background. I wore a Santa tie today. I got one more in the works for tomorrow during the day too. I'm not sure if you're working Christmas Day either, but
I am. We've got a couple of shows later on in the evening, so it's not bad.
that's fine. But incredibly warm. My goodness. Not only is it, I feel like I haven't stressed this enough this week. I know because I've mainly been focusing on just how the ArkLaTex is breaking records, but I mean, it's pretty much most areas around us, including y'all. 70s, even
Yes.
for northern Arkansas.
Yeah, exactly. And we shattered a record in Harrison in northern Arkansas yesterday. So it's not just Christmas, it's like days, multiple days in a row there. So obviously much warmer than average, and we're going to be dealing with this for a few days, all the way through around Saturday. You mentioned the cold front that comes through on Sunday. That's going to finally put an end to it. And when you mentioned, just like in the ArkLaTex here across all of Arkansas, when that temperature drop, it's a sharp cold front. And when we flip the switch, we flip the switch, and we're going to do that on Sunday.
Big,
Thankfully, as you mentioned, no severe weather for us either, it looks like.
yeah, big time. And I know I've seen so many different contradicting things in my comments where I'm like, some people have thanked me for the weathers, other people have given me angry faces. Like what?
Right.
What am I supposed to do? But just an abnormal Christmas time period.
Yeah, actually, a friend of mine was telling me the other day they were saying that they mentioned something in church about it being a Florida Christmas or something, and some
Mm.
lady said she was offended by that. And he later went and was like, "I'm sorry, are you from Florida?" She's like, "No, I'm just offended that it's going to be this warm at Christmas time." So
I'm kind of just sweating just thinking about going
I know.
outside in this attire. And also, I just mentioned too, it's not just one day, which I think is impressive enough. It's multiple days, 4 or 5 days in the last week of December. It's a whole stretch of days. Um, the whole winter stretch is kind of just staying stuck up there. Are we seeing any, I guess, just changes for the long-term period for you or me? I know we got this cold front coming on Sunday, but even then, I've
I feel
seen
like
many things long-term saying warmer than average.
right. Yeah, it kind of seems like you get long stretches of warmth with very brief, periods of cold air. So, about as quickly as we cool down, the warm air tries to return pretty quickly.
I know. Have y'all gotten winter precip yet? Because I remember there was one storm, I believe, that we touched some freezing rain up into the northern edges of DeQueen,
Yeah.
that kind of area. But it
We
really
had a
has.
little bit of freezing rain a couple of weeks ago, but it was December 1st, if I remember
Yeah.
correctly. So it was the
Hmm.
first day of meteorological winter, which was just appropriate, right? But it was just a light amount, and it didn't start until after the morning rush. So the roads were warm enough
That's
that it
good.
didn't cause any problems. Later on that night, I think after we dropped, well, we were below freezing most of the day. I think there were a couple of accidents here and there, but it wasn't
Hmm.
really that widespread. We actually had another event a few days later. It was the Thursday of that week, so it would have been the 4th of December, if I remember correctly. Um, we had some snow in the Ozarks, and so they got about a half inch,
Wow.
but in the metro, it was just rain.
That'll be good for well. As I said, I can't wait to travel up there, but I think I'm waiting until springtime before. Not don't consider myself the most adventurous when it comes to winter driving through snow.
Right.
Which I know, to be fair, probably won't happen anytime soon around your area though. So
Probably not. If we usually when we get winter weather, the cold air has to be locked in for multiple days, and then you get the
yeah.
winter weather as the warmer air is trying to surge back in, and the moisture comes with it, of course. But
Hmm.
I don't see it in the next, couple of weeks at least.
Yeah. Fair. One other thing I wanted to get to is last year, you and I were impacted by Tropical Storm Beryl, which hit back in
Yes,
July of 2024.
that's right.
Obviously, several tornado warnings between your area and my area. This year, pretty much zilch, none
Yeah.
from tropical
No,
systems. So what? First of all, you relieved? I kind of am myself, at least for our areas,
it's
respectively.
always good to catch a breather, to be able to relax for a little bit during that time of year. I know, obviously, for your area, even more so as you get farther south, the impacts are greater from those things. So, even with Beryl, it was a very brief round of severe weather for us, and then it was over. So typically the tropics don't affect us in that way. But yeah, I don't think anybody's complaining about a hurricane drought.
No,
Obviously, Jamaica did not get to be part of that, but
no.
this was a season that it really was. Um, when we say it only takes one, this was the season that was a poster child for that because
Yeah.
you had very little impacts from tropical systems in the US, but you had multiple major hurricanes that missed land completely.
That was something I
And
was
then
going
you
to
had
mention. Yeah.
Melissa that came through at the last minute in late October. And, this will be the year that everybody remembers Melissa. But I believe Aaron, well, Melissa, I think, was stronger than Aaron, but
Hmm.
Aaron was very big. You had Umberto and Gabrielle, I think, that were all three major hurricanes along with Melissa and didn't
Fair.
really cause any major impacts.
Yeah. It's kind of wild to think, especially because I was talking to another meteorologist where I think he pinpointed me to something more specific that we just didn't see any tropical systems in the Gulf. It wasn't just hitting the United States. Most of it was just staying in the Atlantic. Period, and nothing
Right.
came into the Gulf. Period. So
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But I don't know if you remember, but Barry, I don't know if there weren't many
yes,
people who put these two things together, but Tropical Storm Barry, it was late June. Tropical Storm Barry, it might have been the 1st of July.
this was
Uh,
part. Yeah, part of the issue.
it,
What you're getting to. Uh,
yeah, it made landfall in Mexico, but then
mhm.
as a stalled boundary settled across Texas and the ArkLaTex, um, that the remnant moisture got caught up in that and then resulted in the flash flooding that killed, so many people there in
Yeah,
Central Texas on the 4th of July. A lot of people just assumed that was just a kind of a freak summer situation, and it was,
yeah.
but it was remnant moisture from Barry. So we did have impacts in the US from the
Hmm.
tropics this year.
I talked to a meteorologist from Austin like weeks after that. He was like, it didn't really show up like as a surprise, but the day of, just the hearing about the reports actually coming in, it made me just realize just how extravagant this actually was. We knew the flash flooding threat was there, but just to this extent and to this loss of human life wasn't really um, precedented, so to speak.
Right.
But yeah, kind of wild. Last thing about that is that the timing was so horrific. I'm not sure I remember, but this happened overnight, heading into July 4th, a holiday.
Yeah.
Nobody was working, sadly, and it was yeah. It's just the timing is so unfortunate, just between the holiday and for it being overnight. So
Overnight and, uh, the summer camp, its location where Camp Mystic was right there at the
hmm
convergence of two creeks, in a very rural part of the area that didn't have river gauges that
yeah.
were. So that creek, which was a tributary of I can't remember the name of the river that runs through there off the top of my head.
Oh, it's some long
Um,
word. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
but that creek, and a lot of people mention it was that the camp was located along that river that's pretty well known in that part of Texas. I don't think it's the Frio. What river was that? Oh my gosh.
I don't know at
Anyway,
the top of
but
my head.
it was didn't just sit on that creek. It sat at the confluence of a major river, or not a major river, but a significant river in that part of Texas, and a creek that did not have sensors along it. The river did, but that creek did not. So,
Yeah.
and that was where a huge amount of rain fell. And obviously, it was just, I hate using the word perfect disaster, but a lot of unfortunate things came together to make it so deadly. And
True.
yeah,
That's what the season's going to be remembered for between that and Melissa, yeah.
that's right.
But that said, I'm just glad you and I were in the clear. The last question I got for you is kind of tailored back to the temperatures, especially here over the next couple days. Whole stretch of them. I mentioned the record highs here in Shreveport are in the lower 80s, but anybody traveling further up into Arkansas, are you threatening record highs up there as well?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Saturday looks like maybe a little more likely. Christmas Day, I think it's going to end up being a top 5 warmest Christmases on record.
Wow.
But I suspect that we could have some clouds. Like the sun is actually starting to break out now, and any sunshine we get is just going to warm us up even further. But at least the graph model, last I looked at it last night, and I'll have to look at what it's showing this morning, it showed clouds most of the day Christmas. So if the sun comes out, we could make a run for that second spot, I think, for the second warmest Christmas. I don't think we'll quite get to the warmest Christmas on record because that is 78 back in 2021. But if the sun were to come out, if it ends up being mostly sunny somehow on Christmas Day, which I don't think it will be, I think there will be a lot of clouds involved,
Yeah.
at least for us. If it ends up being that, then yeah, it's going to be a really, it could end up being a little closer to 78. So.
Threatening.
I got 74 right now for a high on Christmas.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That's still wild for y'all up there.
That's still, I think 74 would still put us in the number 2, number 3 spot. I have to look in again, but it would tie, I think, the number 2 spot.
Way up there.
Yeah,
You, me, and everybody around us. My goodness. But anyways, thank you very much for coming on. And
Absolutely.
again, I want to wish you a very Merry Christmas Eve. And I will see you
too.
in person sometime soon. I promise.
Yeah, definitely. Let me know if you're ever in Little Rock.
Yeah. All right. Have a good one.
Sounds
Thanks for joining the First Over the Breakdown again here for the day today. I really appreciate you guys for coming on. ArkLaTex Artistry is up next in just a few minutes, starting up after this. I'm meteorologist Evan Thompson. Have a great Merry Christmas. I am off tomorrow for the podcast. The podcast will be resuming Friday, 10:30, same time, same place. Have a great rest of your Merry Christmas. Enjoy it, and I'll see you later.